Vladimir Putin announced that Russia had delivered tactical nuclear warheads to its neighboring country Belarus, and issued a warning that similar weapons could be used in Ukraine, although he stated that there was currently no need to do so after more than a year of a full-scale invasion. If confirmed, this transfer would mark the first time Russia has deployed nuclear weapons outside its borders since the dissolution of the Soviet Union. The tactical nuclear arms will remain under Russia's control and will be stored in refurbished storage facilities from the Soviet era. Speaking at the prominent economic conference in St. Petersburg, Putin stated that Russia had dispatched an unspecified number of nuclear warheads to Belarus, with the supplies expected to be fully delivered by the end of the summer or the year's end. Tactical nuclear weapons, often referred to as suitcase nukes, are smaller in size compared to strategic ones and can be utilized for battlefield purposes within a limited range. However, Alexander Lukashenko, the authoritarian leader of Belarus, recently claimed that these warheads were 3 times more powerful than the atomic bombs dropped by the United States on Japan during World War II. Putin argued that Russia has the right to deploy these weapons due to the US deployment of nuclear armaments in Europe. He has frequently suggested the possibility of using them if Russia's statehood is threatened in Ukraine. As of now, neither Russia nor Belarus has provided evidence of the delivery of these nuclear weapons since the initial announcement in March. While Putin has repeatedly stated that Russia has no intention of utilizing nuclear weapons, he has increasingly mentioned the possibility in recent weeks as the invasion of Ukraine continues with limited success. Last autumn, around the time when the US, UK, and France warned Russia that they would respond with a conventional strike if Putin employed nuclear weapons in Ukraine, he first raised this topic. China, a close ally of Moscow, has also repeatedly expressed its opposition to the use of nuclear arms. During the conference, Putin addressed the audience composed of Russia's elite and a few guests mainly from the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. He refused to engage in arms control negotiations with the West, stating that Russia possesses more of these weapons than NATO countries. Putin dismissed reduction talks, emphasizing that it is Russia's competitive advantage. Putin's declaration served as the centerpiece of a 3-hour session filled with resentment, where he reiterated unverified claims that Ukraine's counteroffensive against the invading Russian forces had failed. He argued that advanced Western weapons supplied to Kiev, such as Bradley infantry fighting vehicles and Leopard tanks, had not given Ukraine the upper hand on the battlefield. Putin vowed to destroy F-16 fighter jets once they were received by Ukraine from Western allies. He warned that if Ukraine deployed F-16s beyond its own borders and used them in the counteroffensive, Russia would assess how and where it could target these units engaged in combat operations against them. This raised concerns about NATO being dragged into the armed conflict. Putin also asserted that Russia had destroyed 5 US-made Patriot missile defense systems in Kiev, despite Ukraine and its Western allies stating that only 2 systems, along with additional launchers, had been supplied. He claimed that if they could destroy 5 Patriot systems near Kiev, there would be no limitations on targeting any building or infrastructure in central Kiev. However, he stated that they were not doing so for several reasons, primarily because the enemy was not succeeding on the front. Putin justified Russia's initiation of the war by claiming that Ukraine was governed by Nazis, disregarding that Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, is of Jewish heritage. Due to sanctions and the ongoing war, the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, which was originally intended to showcase Russian technology and investment prospects to Western business leaders, saw minimal participation from international attendees this year.